Good morning, y'all. It's so cold outside. It's still in like the 20s. It's 9:33 a.m. I just got back from church. I went to the 8:30 service. Yeah, I got convicted, which is what should be happening at church. I'm just yapping a little so I can let the car warm up before I go to Walmart and Target to get my meal prep for the next 4 days. I just was really convicted. I was really convicted. Woo, man, I can be very harsh at times. And there's different reasons. I just grew up in a pretty harsh environment. Speech as well. Like just saying whatever came to your mind, no self-control, that type of thing. And that's not always permissible with others, and it really shouldn't be permissible with yourself either. Because a lot of times how you treat others is a reflection of how you treat yourself, or like what you think about yourself. And it could be like you don't think your own speech is eloquent or good, because I'm going to go more into what I'm talking about. Or maybe you don't like your own self, and so you portray that onto others, or you project that onto others, or it could just be different things. But I can tend to be very harsh, and I can critique others' speech a lot of times. Even if I'm not saying it out loud, I might think it sometimes, and that's not humble, and that's not nice. And everybody does not have the gift of eloquence. And then this morning, I forgot because we didn't have church last week with the storm and stuff. We're still in the book of Exodus chapter 4, and it's a very famous passage because that's when God is really telling, after the burning bush in chapter 3, that's when God is really honing in with Moses and saying, hey, look, even though your speech is not eloquent, I will be there with you. And Moses is pleading, he's begging, like, God, it's going to be so hard for me to speak in front of them. And eventually he just tells his older brother Aaron to help him, which I wasn't thinking at the time, but like he had not seen his older brother Aaron in likely probably over 4 decades. So that was crazy, but it just really convicted me. God talks back to Moses and he says, is it not I who gave people the ability to speak or not to speak? And so it's like, how dare I be harsh with others? At any moment, God can just put a muzzle on my mouth and I can become mute. And I'm not saying that he's going to do that, but he has the ability to do anything. And so it really humbled me. And another quote, I don't know who this is from specifically, but it was mentioned in church that yes, we need to obey God, period. And when we trust God, we will obey him. And when we disobey him, it's because we don't trust him. But yes, we need to obey God, but just because we obey does not mean that things are going to turn out perfectly. On top of that, it was also said, and I believe this to be true, that God's timing does not have to coincide with what we want in that moment. And God allocating hardships to us does not have to coincide with how much we think we can handle. I know it's an infamous belief that as Christians, God only gives us what we can handle, and that's not necessarily biblical. What a lot of people are referring to is Corinthians, when Paul is talking about sexual desires and having to maintain them and have self-control. There are times when God is going to give us more than we think we can handle. That's why we deal with death. That's why we deal with grief. That's why we deal with sickness. That's why we deal with pain and heartbreak. God can do whatever he wants, and he can give us more pain or he can take it away. And so it really was very eye-opening for me. It was very eye-opening for me. It was humbling for me, and it was very convicting that I even had to listen to that passage for me to stop being like, just to feel so convicted. Anyways, like I said, I know I didn't say welcome to the vlog. I'm sorry, y'all. I really wanted to put this in last week's vlog, just because in that vlog I really told y'all I was struggling, and there's no telling what's gonna happen this week. But I think this is a great way to humbly start off this week's vlog. It is February 1st, so tune in, like the video if you like it, comment if you would like to comment, subscribe if you would like to. I love all 234 of y'all. I think there's 234, 234, yeah. All right, I'm going to Walmart. I'm not sure if I'm gonna film because I'm just trying to be in and out, but I'm getting stuff to make lasagna soup. I'm gonna just make a big batch, and I'm gonna have that for lunch and dinner. Throw in some onions, throw in some spinach, throw in some pork. I haven't had pork in a while, but throw in some pork, sausage. I'm gonna mix up different blends, and then I'm gonna also try get some onions, garlic, all that stuff. Then I'm gonna have to go to Target specifically because they have the gluten-free lasagna noodles that I need, and then I'm gonna get some avocados from there if I can't find any ripe ones at Walmart. One, I don't like that Walmart charges you $6.99 if your pickup order is under $35, and then on top of that, I don't like to do pickup orders when I'm doing grocery food or when I'm getting groceries, because Walmart likes to play around and they like to give you the bottom of the barrel with produce. And so even going inside, I feel like I'm fighting for my life at Walmart, because I'm like, dang, there's like nothing good here, in my opinion. If I can ever just be so humble, and just speak my mind on that. But yeah, it's like, it feels like no matter what Walmart I go to, the produce is just not hitting. So anyways, I'm at a red light. All right, I will see y'all in the next clip. All my life you have been wrong. Woo! God really has been good though, for real. He has been good. Hello? This might be random. I just drove past this place called Clucking Great. I have never seen that one before. I've always seen that one. I was able to get some of the things I needed. They said this was out of stock online, so I'm glad I came in person. The avocados look okay, and then they didn't have just regular eggs, so I had to get jumbo. So outside of that, I still need like chicken stock. I still need pasta sauce. Yeah, and a few other things. I am at the second store. All I literally have to get here is the gluten-free noodles. Alright. They have those gluten-free ones at the top. That's not what I was looking for. Wow, I don't think they have it, even though the app said they did. Wow, okay. I know they're oven ready, but I still boiled them a little bit. Throw that away. I took and mixed my meat. I know that plate is super heavy. It's mostly broccoli, y'all. That broccoli is so good with the tamarind sauce that I bought. Got the meat mixed in. I put in everything. Paprika, a little bit of red pepper flakes. I put like a tablespoon of brown sugar. I grew up eating sugar in everything. We put sugar in spaghetti, sugar in beefaroni, or like goulash. We put sugar in lasagna, and I don't like that. I'm just putting a little bit of brown sugar for the flavor, specifically from the molasses. 1 tablespoon. That's it. I put onion powder, even though there's already onions in here. I put garlic powder, even though I already put some minced garlic in here. There's spinach. I put salt. I put pepper. I put like anything you can imagine. So this is gonna be really flavorful. Put it on the meat option. I'm so sorry it keeps beeping, y'all. And we'll let that simmer for a little bit. And the last thing will just be to add chicken broth and then the marinara sauce that I got. Perfect.
That the birth of the Black church happened in the segregated worship of white Christians in America. You may or may not know that in the 1700s, the St. George's Episcopal Church in Philadelphia, the same way that whites were. And so they left and thereby gave birth to the African Methodist Episcopal Church.
This is only one.
I'm not here today to offer a history lesson. I'm actually here to propose something significant.
That's only one workout. I have 3 sets and I have other workouts within the set. I feel
I'm not acknowledging the complicated and
bent
difficult
up.
history of
I feel inflamed, like my back, my nose, like it's even tender, all in my neck. Like I need a massage and a chiropractor adjustment. It's 6:13 in the morning. I didn't want to be up this early, but the allergy medicine, that's also basically the same ingredients as a sleep aid, has been giving me nightmares, and I can't go back to sleep after them because how gruesome they are. So I'm fighting, I'm trying to.
white pastors like yourselves and some leading influential Black pastors in our nation. We're willing to coordinate it.
People to Jesus, like Dr. Coney Evans did here.
The white church has become too Republican. You have wrapped, too many, have wrapped our faith in the American flag. Policing was happening when all of these deleterious realities that has led to conflict that is still plaguing the Southern Baptist Convention today, and that ought not to be. There would be no National Baptist Convention if the Southern Baptist Convention was not a segregationist institution. It left the kingdom. But the black church has become idolatrous too. So you black people don't get too comfortable. Because what we have done is we have wrapped blackness in cultural identity. So we have often been more black than biblical.
So I remind everybody, this is not a black church. Don't exist here. This is the Church of Jesus Christ.
Planting roots in a world that feels like home. Download Top Heroes now. Lead your legions. Carve your legacy.
And I want us to love one another deeply. No matter what we look like.
These are the sausages I'm gonna be cooking. Actually, I'm gonna just cook them now while I wait for the egg. The sausages there. That's the only pan I have at the moment. So, using what we got. Put those in. Put this lid on. And this is just gonna go back in the fridge for the next couple days. Doesn't really stick the best sometimes. And then the reason why I have the eggs like these is because I don't do this all the time, but I grew up taking the white part out of the egg, so I'm just gonna crack up. Well, clearly I'm not the best at using my left hand, but when you're recording with the right, you kind of just gotta do what you gotta do. And then I'm just gonna use a fork to take out all the white part and just dump it out. Currently listening to Mike Winger. He is currently going over how some versions talk about how you have to abstain from evil. Others say the forms or appearances of evil, which something I didn't even think of, but going in with a little bit of sea salt over guac. Well, it's not guac. Over my avocado.
But it doesn't say reject here, it says abstain. And as you keep reading,
and then over the eggs, because I didn't season them in the
there's a
pan.
parallel between verse 22
And then I'm gonna do a little bit of this jerk seasoning. And then I didn't bring out the pepper, but I'm gonna do a little pepper too. I actually really enjoy pepper in dishes, but this is breakfast. I'm gonna shower, probably go right back to sleep. Listening to Aunt talk, they sent me a video. I'm gonna be doing my hair. I decided to wash my hair when I was in the shower. I always say it doesn't take me long anymore because I cut my hair. So I just went in with the Sticky Dates primer, and then this is the honey mousse that I used to use all the time, and then I kind of switched to the extreme gel, but I'm going back to this.
I do understand that there is that light that you've been praying for, that you've been seeking, and that you've been really earnestly yearning for, being resilient and persevering through the storms and pain. Getting enough sleep and rest can also play a factor in how you are feeling. So I'm not feeling any type of way. I'm not feeling any type of way or like I'm gonna get. I'm just saying that God is the one who does give us strength in our weakness, and
Switching angles. Another minute. Oh, it's here, creating matrix and remix you. I can't do it by myself. Only you can do it. The back camera, so I was trying to get a good angle. But hey y'all, I'm back. It's been 10 hours. I've slept and everything. It's 6:54 p.m. Like I had a little nap, everything. My hair is 100% dry. It's also why I like using the mousse, because it dries up quickly. I don't spend 3 years trying to blow dry my hair. But I'm gonna do this the proper way, and I'm going to unbraid this since it's fully dry, and then I'm gonna band this section. I like my afro to not really have a part because I'm working with an interesting length at the moment. So I'm gonna unravel, band, and go from there. I'll have a section in the front, probably 2 on the side, and like 1 in the back. How am I gonna sleep? I don't know. It sounds new. It sounds new. But live, laugh, love, twin. Okay? Live, laugh, love. I am just so ready to be married. I really am. So ready for us to have our own space. Like, I know the ring probably looks really good right now in the lights. I hope that focused. It probably didn't. But I genuinely am just so very excited to just be with Aunt. Gosh, to be with Aunt, to cleave with him. The amount of weirdness that has been going on since we got engaged, it's like the weirdness is amplified during this time. And I know Satan doesn't like holiness, and so us choosing to no longer partake in, let me not phrase it like that, but us choosing to not continue to perpetuate certain sin patterns that were in our families, I think that's caused a lot of ruckus, caused a lot of darts to be thrown our way. So pray for us. But okay, I'm watching Dr. Grande, and I am on FaceTime with Aunt, but he can't hear me. So. I know some people use oil when taking theirs down. I don't really do that. I don't know why I don't. I have some oil, actually. Good old organ oil. Argan olale. Okay, I'm gonna put some on. Just the way, babe. Just the way, babe. I miss the smell of argan. I do. I was supposed to do a month. Wow, I didn't even have this braided up. Okay, alright. Supposed to do a monthly maintenance video last month, and I didn't. So I'm gonna have to do one. Well, how's everyone's week been? Me and Aunt are still trying to figure out what we want our Valentine's Day plans to be. There's always more. There's always more. $701. Oh. Get a fork to whisk it with. knobs are mismatched, so I have to use the bigger one, not the smaller one, because I just don't understand how that works. I'll do medium. Sausage, eggs, avocado, and some mango. You cannot make stuff like this up. I literally was just saying that sometimes it doesn't close right yesterday, and then this. All right. The sausages got cut up to make my life easier. I do have to leave out here in an hour, so I'm gonna finish up these eggs. I like a soft scramble, so actually these are perfect. I'm gonna turn off the heat, let it cook for a couple more seconds, and these will be done. And then I'm gonna go eat. Read the word. Oh yeah, these are perfect. Probably use the same seasoning as yesterday. Yep. Get in the shower, get dressed. I already picked out my outfit yesterday, so that should be easy. Normally I'll leave out the house at 8:30, so I don't have to take the toll roads and can get to school at 9:30. But that has not been working, so I need to leave here at 8:15 because of how heavy traffic is. Okay, it's 8:12 a.m. Came out better than I thought. I put some bobby pins up at the front. Just picking. I love the definition. I haven't had a, oh Lord, y'all, I can't, you know what? I haven't had a braid out this good in a while. I'm gonna pick out a little bit, head out. I got some coffee. I accidentally put in too much sugar, but it is what it is. The car is already warmed up. Got my coffee. Let's head out. Y'all, I thought I was doing something by leaving the house at 8:15 instead of 8:30, so I could get to school at 9:30 when my class starts. I hopped in the car, 8:18. I'm looking at the ETA. Why is the ETA still telling me it's gonna take over an hour for me to drive to school? It's like an hour 5, hour 10 minutes. And like the whole block, that whole strip is red when I open Apple Maps. And I'm like, genuinely, I cannot win for losing. So you mean to tell me I have to leave an hour, 30 minutes early? So I gotta leave at 8 o'clock just to get to class on time? Like, anyways, I let my professor know. She said she's cool with it, but it's irritating to me because there are definitely times when I'm late just because I'm not managing my time wisely. But when you're leaving the house a whole hour, 15 minutes before you have to arrive somewhere, and you still live in the same DFW Metroplex, that's insane to me. And before anybody's like, babes, just pay that toll road fee. Toll roads, it's still an hour and 3 minutes. So I'm like, oh no, y'all are, I'm sorry y'all, this car to the right of me that's finna pass, it's a black SUV, I don't know what kind. It was riding in 2 different lanes. I think they were on their phone. That's insane. Now the truck is gonna pass them because like they were all in their lane. But it's just crazy to me, like, if it's a clear difference for toll roads and I'm late, like toll roads said I'll get you there in 37, without tolls it's like I'll get you there in 58 an hour, cool, I'm probably gonna take the toll road. But it's days like this where I'm getting up early, I'm making sure I'm not stalling and lollygagging, but I'm still having to deal with stuff like this, and it's annoying. It's so annoying. So yeah. Oh, okay, I decided to get behind them now. They're a Kia. It's a black Kia. But yeah, that just blew me. Like, I can't even sip my coffee because I know it's too hot and it's in the glass jar. But yeah, y'all, I put honey. I probably put like 2 tablespoons of honey, as if that's not sweet enough. And then I put in like a tablespoon of brown sugar. It might have even been 2. And I promise you, it was on accident. Like, I just tried to pour some from the bag and a chunk plopped down. And I was like, I don't feel like trying to get a spoon to scoop this out. So it is what it is. But anyways, if y'all didn't know, this is not a sponsorship. I'm just putting y'all on game. There's an app called Furnish Finder. So my YouTube shorts will give me a plethora of different things to look at. Sometimes it's like weird, mysterious facts from the 1800s. Other times it's like, did you know that the rapper from Outkast, like it'll be very random stuff. It's a lot of meal prepping on there, so I want to do like a sushi bake at some point, because I realize that can easily be gluten and dairy free. But I saw a lot of stuff, so I'm just scrolling. And then I see this lady that I watch pretty often. She has an Airbnb, and she goes online and says how much she realistically makes from her listings, and whether it was like a profit that month or if it really wasn't any extra money that month. And she also shows if guests leave any pantry items over or any things that she can bring back to her house for her deep freezer or something. And so at this time, she had a couple different things that she was explaining. She was like, actually, this tenant moved out early, and she was like, I didn't even get them on Airbnb though. I found them on this app called Furnished Finder. And I was like, what the heck is Furnished Finder? Because you know, me and Aunt have to find an apartment and all that. And so I'm like, Furnished Finder? That's very interesting. So Furnished Finder is an app where people can list their houses and their apartments for rent, but it's more so for long-term stays. So think of like Airbnb and Vrbo or VRBO, however people say that. They're very expensive for monthly stays, at least in the area that I'm in. And so I looked on Furnished Finder, and it's similar to Airbnb and all those places, but it's built for you to stay minimum 30 days plus until you do whatever you got to do. So I just thought that was a cool app that I wanted to share with you all. I definitely wish it was something that I knew about before, because I always thought that you just had to get your own brand new spanking apartment whenever you needed to do stuff. And of course, it is nice to have a place to call home and just to say that it's yours and that you don't have an expiration date with how long you can stay or whatever the case is. But for me specifically, I move around a lot. I'm always doing different things, especially with school and different endeavors that I'm on. And so it can be very hard for me to just be like, yeah, I just want to rent this place. And I make enough at the time before I'm having a new job or going to a new school to be able to secure the security deposit and anything else that comes with trying to get an apartment and all that stuff. So I just thought that was a cool app to share, because yeah, maybe y'all are like me and you move around a lot, or maybe you're not like me and you are like, I want to move out, or I want to go to this new place, or I want to check out this city, but I want to do it for a while and I don't want to pay like as hefty as a fee as Airbnb. Now the only thing is with Furnished Finder, you still likely have to pay a deposit. Now Airbnb does not do that, but you still are paying a deposit like a normal apartment would. But if you leave it clean and tidy, then you'll get your refund back. You also do have to pay a cleaning fee, but I mean, I'm pretty sure Airbnb does that too. But it's just something to think about, something to look into. Okay. All that bumping on my tires, I'm gonna need that to stop. This is gonna be a very busy week. I have to calculate what time I have to get up tomorrow, because I have a couple things to do, like Wednesday and Thursday, and then I work like normal on Fridays. That always happens. But I'm sorry, I need to stop looking at it. But y'all, it's just like, I'm missing my man. I will be honest and say, no, I won't. I'm not gonna talk too much. I'm gonna just leave it at that. All right, y'all. Don't do drugs. Stay in school. Ooh, it's a bump. Okay, that wasn't as bad. Don't do drugs. Stay in school. I tried to watch a YouTube tutorial and I think someone said like windbag or something like that. The unlock button, it's on that side, on the inside. And then I have another one on the right side as well. Y'all, there's so much going on right now. Morning, I forgot to leave this food out for ants. So I'm gonna have to defrost it this morning so I can give it to him. Be washing these sheets. I don't really ever use that one, so I'm gonna just let that cover be. Actually, I'm gonna take these two. I'm gonna remove the, I think it's a duvet that's in here. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna remove that. I've been sleeping with this one, so I'm gonna wash this. Just so I can come back to some clean sheets. Get a little pain before I start my cycle. So anytime I have a UTI or something, I take D-Manos. It's not sponsored. I just really like taking this. But yeah, sometimes I'll just get a little pain. And it's like, ugh, I really don't like that too much. So having this, drinking some water out of a coffee mug. And I do have my clothes in the washer. Still have Aunt's food defrosting, which actually, let's go check on it. I'm gonna do just a couple more minutes, mix it up, and then he can reheat it. I just wanted it defrosted. And I did like 3, I'll probably end up doing 10 minutes total. Yeah, because I already did 2 rounds of 3 minutes before this. This came back to life. I got the tortillas in there. Apple cobbler came back to life. Now they gotta do this shrimp Alfredo. And I don't need to heat up the waffle sandwiches. I'm gonna switch. Put that over. I'm gonna do fish because I have shrimp in there. And this thing's like a good 5 pounds. Okay, that's fine. Start. Just do it. Hey y'all, it is currently 3:55 p.m. I already recorded this video. I'm just gonna re-record it. So, do I look the exact same as yesterday? Yes. Am I an outfit repeater when my clothes are clean? Yes, I am. That's the purpose of wearing clothes. We wear them. So, got some boba. Aunt got me some boba. I realized, unfortunately, that if boba sits for too long, the pearls harden. They do not soften. I said, oh. So I'm gonna just toss the pearls and I'm gonna just drink the milk tea. I have a headache. I had a headache this morning. It kind of went away. Then I got a headache again. Probably looking at the other clips like, what happened to you? How are you even alive? By the grace of God. By the grace of God. I messed up real bad yesterday. I actually cried yesterday because of how just stressed out I was. I genuinely just, I was so overwhelmed yesterday. I was so overwhelmed. There were probably like 8 different strangers that I encountered yesterday who helped me in one manner or another. And I'm not talking about all 8 at once. Like, there were some people here who directed me here. There were others that helped me with this on my car. Someone else said they knew someone who could come right around the corner and use a Slim Jim to open up my car. Like, y'all, so much happened yesterday because I left my keys in the car. I'm so used, like, whenever I park the car, I'm so used to taking my keys out the ignition and sticking it in my tote bag, because my brain is kind of signaling when you take the keys out, that means that you're leaving the car. That usually means that I'm going inside the building for school. That usually means I'm going inside for work, just different things. And so I parked the car, wanted to clean the inside of my car, which is so crazy because I told myself, just wait until you meet up with Aunt this week, because I knew I was going to see him this week. And Aunt loves doing anything with my car, which I love that for him. I love acts of service, and any way that Aunt can be of service to me, he makes that be known that he wants to help me, period. And I love that so much, that he goes just above and beyond to help me with my problems. And so I was like, girl, just wait for Aunt. And I was like, no, I don't want to have to keep waiting on Aunt to get things done. Not that I'm saying that he's a slowpoke or anything, but I don't want to always have to put the burden on him because I'm also able-bodied. It would be different if I wasn't. And so, you know, I decided to clean it out, and car ended up locking. My car, the previous models for my car were very easily broken into. And so they started putting interlock systems on them so that no one could break in, which is amazing that Honda was, you know, being proactive. But that sucks because that also means that it took forever to try to get inside my car. All is well now. But just yesterday was a very taxing day. Unfortunately, one of Aunt's dogs passed away, and I never had the privilege of meeting her, but it just broke my heart because my dog passed away 5 years ago, and it's a very uncanny resemblance. But his dog's name was Poopy, and she was a Chihuahua. My dog's name was Snoopy, and she was a Chihuahua. So it was just something that we kind of bonded over, even though we never got to meet each other's dogs. He still has one more that I prayerfully will be able to meet, but it just was so much. I also I thought I was going to work out after I came home. I thought I was going to be able to just do all these different plans, get like bulk my homework up and get it done so I don't have to worry about it for the rest of this week, because I'm also going to a birthday party on Saturday. I'm also supposed to start my period like late this week or on Monday. So I'm like, there's so much to do. Different deadlines I have to hit at my internship. Schoolwork never stops. Being a fiance never stops. And like me and Aunt went to view apartments and stuff. Just so much going on. And so I was like, Areyah, just calm down. Like I was crying because I was like, there's just so much going on. I had to go to so many different places, spend hours when I didn't think I was going to. And then I was like, I'll just do the one quiz I had to do yesterday. I got a 16%. I said, yep, I'm done. The plans I had for today, I was like, I'm gonna have to rearrange them because I don't have the energy. I don't have to fight. But second job, babysitting. All right, we're gonna get through this, y'all, for real. I have a headache though. It's just like Aunt liked a lot of the food that I cooked for him. I always tell him, give me recommendations, babe. I'm gonna be cooking for you for the rest of our lives. So if you don't like something, let me know. Okay, next clip. Morning, y'all. So yesterday night I stayed up for hours, just hours. I just still feel very stressed. There were multiple times on the road yesterday, unfortunately, where someone cut me off. And it's one thing to happen when it's by myself. I'll just have to regulate my own emotions. But when it's happening when I'm babysitting and like when I'm running errands with the girls in the car, stuff like that really ticks me off because my job is to protect them and to keep them safe. And when you have other people who are in such a rush that instead of just missing their exit and being rerouted for a couple of minutes, as if there's not a turnaround at every section in Texas, they're cutting me off. And I'm not just talking about like a little caveat coming through. I'm talking about a full hard stop, almost sideswiped us. And it happened multiple times. So it's like when stuff, I don't want to keep giving my energy there. Just know that I was very upset. I'm on my way to the internship today. I was supposed to set my alarm for like 6 or 6:30. I didn't get up till 7:30 on purpose. I purposely did that because I just needed extra rest. I needed that time to really just like breathe in, breathe out, like just get at least like 7 hours, 15 minutes of sleep, and I feel so much better. I don't know what I would have done if I only got 6 hours of sleep. I always try to aim for like 8, 9 is a great day, but doesn't really happen. But I was just more so comfortable with getting like that 7, you know, hours of sleep, because I was like, at least that's something. At least I can kind of work with that. And so got my coffee, just sweetened it with a little bit of honey. Today they're opening up a new break room on the floor that I intern at, so I'll be there. We're reading a book that I picked this semester, which I really like so far. It's called The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team, and it's written in a fable style. I love it. I think it's awesome. Like,
stay in the left 2 lanes.
Okay, Siri. I don't know if y'all can ever hear Siri whenever I'm on here, but she be giving directions. I'm like, okay, twin, you are not to be played with. I hear you loud and clear. But yeah, we're reading that book in the office, and I've really been enjoying it so far. Okay, I'll leave that alone. Oh, and the verse of the day today says, anxiety weighs down a man's heart, but an encouraging word makes it glad. And y'all, I had so much anxiety yesterday. I was stressing over things because there's an apartment that me and Aunt think is really cute. Well, Aunt is kind of just, Aunt's like, oh, whatever, apartment is apartment. But y'all, this apartment is so very nice. It's modern. It's gonna be very small. It's a studio, but it's modern, it's updated, it fits how much we want to spend on like rent and all that stuff, like not trying to break the bank for us, but making it make sense. It's really nice. I saw the apartment like, I think in like December, or might have even been November. Excuse me, I'm so sorry, y'all. December and November, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll just save this. But I was like, this is gonna be gone by the time me and Aunt actually need it and want to use it. Well, actually, that ended up not being the case. It's still available and it's ready for moving on March 21st. There's still some caveats that we have with it, and I've just been like, oh God, well, if I just hurry up and try to put in the application, even though there's certain things that we won't have until the date that they're asking, I'm like, can you just kind of bypass that for me? And can you just like, if we just have faith, can you just make it happen for us? And I had to realize, like, trying to bypass human structures and systems is not necessarily faith, because Jesus himself told us that we still need to obey the governing laws. Those are put in place for a reason, whether we agree with the politics that are in the office or not. And so even when it comes down to something like this with the apartments, where they're saying like, oh, you need to make this amount of money, or you need to qualify in this way, or even like when they do safety measures, like you cannot have been a criminal. Like, those are not things that you bypass and then say, oh, because of my relationship with Christ, I'm gonna have faith that we're just gonna push past that. That's not how that goes. And so I had to like really check myself last night, like, Areyah, what you're having is not faith. You want God to stop being the fair and just God that he is, to work out for you. And I'm like, dang, so I kind of want God to change his character for the sake of me. Things don't fly that way, and I'm not powerful enough to do that in the first place. So I needed to humble and rebuke myself for thinking that I was to begin with. Anyways, I know y'all probably like, girl, what you talking about? If it made sense, I hope it made sense to you, because I tend to do that a lot, where I'm like, okay, where is the line between faith and being realistic about certain things? And that apartment is so cute. I feel like so many people are gonna want it, and it's gonna be in high demand because of how modern it is, how nice it is. It's not old. The reviews are good, and I'm like, apartments like that nowadays are in very, very high demand. So I'm just hoping that it's for us, and if it's not, you know, we'll look back in the future and be like, oh, the reason why that wasn't for us is because God actually ended up blessing us with fill in the blank. And so by that point, it won't be an issue of, oh, well, it's just because I didn't try hard enough, or I didn't fill out the application, or I didn't do this. No, I mean, if it was for us, it'll be there for us after we follow through with what they need from us. And then if it's not, I mean, there's not going to be peace associated with us not having something that wasn't meant for us, you know? So anyways, all right, I'll leave that there.
So remember when I was showing you, I think on the digital one, it was showing you like 20. Was it around 20? I think it was 27. I told you.
I don't know. You did it.
I vividly remember it being less than 30. This is why it's so good for the manual one. You can't go wrong with the manual one. Well over 35. Your left one's good, but I'll put a little bit more in there just in case.
Okay, it did look a little flat to me.
Okay.
You don't think so?
I'll push it up to 40. So
bark for the one time. Oh. Okay, well, y'all, there goes my mechanic. All right, next clip. Hello, y'all. I am coming off of work. It's like close to 5:10 p.m. It's gonna take me an hour and 10 minutes just to get to the Walmart in my city, and then I'm gonna have to do some shopping, so I'll probably be in Walmart for an hour, I'm not gonna lie, because there's a couple things that I need to pick up. 2 people I really love in my family are having birthday. Well, they just had birthdays on February, both of them, and they're sisters, which is insane to me because it's like y'all are both born on the same day. They're not twins, but it's just an insane revelation to me. And so, anywho, gonna be getting them some gifts, and then I also need to meal prep. Really random assortment of things. I got some car oil. That's for Janice. That's for Janice. These were literally only $1.50 each. I got the last ones. Candle for Mercy. I'm finally getting this because I've had months of post-nasal drip and I'm tired. Tongue scraper, self-explanatory stories, deodorant. I'm looking for some disinfectant wipes. I just get the brand ones. Oh, perfect. And so much stuff is on sale. Oh, wow, yeah. Great Value wipe, 75 count for the lemon. And they do me just fine. So picking these up. And then I think there's something else from this aisle I need to get. Y'all, the Myers, this stuff smells so good. It's really expensive, $5 per bottle, but some of the best smelling stuff in the world, in my opinion. I'm really tempted to just buy a lot of things in bulk to prepare for me and Aunt's apartment, even though we don't even have one yet. But I'm gonna keep going. Yeah. Okay, find what else I need.